Hey, so I wanted to do just a little video to make sure everyone's kind of feeling comfortable with this rig and how it works. Your assignments looked great, but I do just want to help specify. So when you are animating, you are only going to use these controllers. Controllers are these like rings around the shape. You're going to see as we do different rigs, they're all going to have these controllers. Some lock the actual model so you can't touch it. Unfortunately, this one does not, but you do not want to set keys on the actual ball. And you can see over here in my outliner, you don't really need to do this, just look here. You can see that we have the geometry, okay, and then we have the controllers and the rig. And the rig is hidden. The rig is like the joints and the bones that make it up. The controllers are what we actually want to touch. So you can see if I actually twirl all of these out, we have the ball placement controller, which is this outer one that grabs all of them so they move together. Then we've got the rotate controller, which is this one down the front, top of the ball, and the bottom of the ball to get our squash and stretch. So rigs are really cool. You know, if you want to talk rigging, I'd be happy to, but it is like a science to figure out how to easily be able to animate with these shapes. So that being said, again, this outer one is always going to be for our movement. Let me make sure I actually grab it. Here we go. And I've done something. Anyway, so we grab it. Our outer control moves the ball, right? Now, squash and stretch. Some people were having a little bit of difficulty with this. When I grab this main controller and set keys, and we've got the red line, this controller grabs all the other ones as well. So, you know, if I click and drag over everything and set a key, that's great. Now I can see if I grab this bottom one, I have a key set as well. But when you just grab this main controller, sometimes a key isn't set on this bottom one. They have their own timelines, and this is going to take a little bit of getting used to, but everything has its own timeline, each one of these. So you're going to need to set it up for success. So a lot of times what I do is I click and drag over everything and hit S. Again, S is to set our key, just to be sure. Now, if I move over to frame 10 or whatever it is, and let's say I'm going to pull this and squash and pull this in whatever angle, I can actually do that. Now, I need to select everything, because if I only hit S on this top, I haven't hit S on the bottom or the positioning. If I go back, I've lost it all. You know, and so sometimes people are like, I don't know why it's not keeping my keys, because each of these has their own timeline. So I only set a key on this top one. So if I kind of do this again, pull this even more, if I click and drag over everything and set a key, now it'll be set. Now, you may find sometimes rigs break. Sometimes it's frustrating, and I completely get it. Like even right now, mine's acting weird. It's, well, maybe a little bit. But sometimes what's best is to start fresh. You know, this week you have the chance to fix up your file. Up to you if you want to use your previous file or you want to practice again. If you find that things are glitchy and not working as they should, if you're like, okay, I selected everything, I set a key, and then I moved it all and set a key and it's acting weird, then you may want to redo it. Now, here's something else to note. If I click and drag over everything and I pull it, everything gets separated, and we don't want that. As long as possible, you want to keep your rig in control, in the controllers. So remember, I'm only going to click this outside ring if I want to move it. Now I can move it freely and I don't lose it. Okay? I don't get it separated from the rig. And then I can set a key. You can still click and drag over everything once it's set and set it, but now it moves with the rig. Okay, so I hope these tips and tricks help you out. Let me know if you have any questions.